When the U.S. left Afghanistan, some people who wanted to leave could not. And now they're dealing with the reason people wanted to evacuate: Taliban rule. And I spoke with Wisconsin native Zach Loyce, who has a relationship with some people who remain in Afghanistan. And Zach's a graduate of UWL who commissioned in the U.S. Army. He spent a tour in Afghanistan as an Army Special Forces captain. And he was working and living side by side with the Afghan people. He left military service in 2015, but recent events in Afghanistan changed everything. And he is now focused on getting the people he knows out, and with help from a group he leads called Task Force Pineapple. Task Force Pineapple, a network of U.S. Special Operations veterans called shepherds, are helping their flocks get out of Afghanistan.
Most of these people are people, they're fully vetted, meaning that these are people that we personally served with. They were a high level, special forces, a pilot, explosive expert, intelligence agency. We also have journalists, a lot of journalists. We have LGBTQ community. We have women's rights activists. So these are people that can't go get a job. They can't go and apply and say, I want a job, because they're well known. And they're actively being hunted.
Zach and his shepherds aren't just helping the people they worked with, but their families too.
My two special forces colleagues that I'm trying to get out, they have 5 kids, all under the age of 6 years old. So when they're trying to navigate all these Taliban checkpoints, they're not just doing it by themselves. They're doing it with a wife and children. Like when we were doing the Kabul operation, there was a pregnant woman, and they caught this 9-month pregnant woman, and they beat her until she went into labor right there on the street.
Facing many logistical challenges, the task force is running out of time getting their flocks to safety.
Across the country, I think about the estimation we have is about 12 a day that get killed. So what they do is, once the Taliban kill them, they take their phone, they take a picture of it, and then they blast it out to all their contacts on that phone. So they spread it out everywhere saying, hey, we caught your guy, or we caught your friend. This is what happened to him. To give you an example, just last night, they sent out an email, like a fake email, a phishing email, saying that they were the U.S. State Department. Hey, come to this hotel. You're going to get on a flight the next day and fly out. And that night they went in and they killed all the men in the hotel.
Zach and his fellow veterans are working every angle to keep their flocks safe, but the Taliban overshadowing the process is daunting.
We have over 200 American citizens still on ground. What happens when one of these American citizens end up in the hands of the Taliban in this situation?
Now, Zach and his fellow shepherds are actively working with 700 families to help them leave Afghanistan, but there's close to 5,000 families on the task force manifest waiting to get out. And since the fall in Kabul, communication is limited, and the logistics of getting them aid and necessary documents to leave is very difficult. Task Force Pineapple is a self-funded nonprofit organization. To help with their mission, go to taskforcepineapple.org or go to the story on our WXOW website.